Hello peeps, Deadbug Davies back in my normal place, and damn it's good weather today. It's getting very busy over on your bike. Now, I just dropped the Kawasaki off and now I am on the new 2019, I believe it's a 2019. No it's not, it's 2018. Multistrada 1260S, I believe it's the S. There you go, 1260S. First impressions, I've only just ridden it down the road, had it in touring mode. Very nice bike. A couple of things did stand out to me as I was riding it, and I'll talk about them as I'm going around the bike. As you look at it, I think a bike like this, kind of like my KTM, it's always going to divide opinions. Not sure on the looks. This is one of those bikes I don't really know about the looks. Front end wise, I just don't know. I don't know. Depends if you like it. And also on a touring one, the touring bike, the front mudguard it looks very cool, but yeah, it's not going to stop much throwing up, is it? So that I thought was a little bit crap. Brembo brakes, they look like M50s. And on the issue of Brembo brakes, I had well, not issues, talks about Brembo brakes on my recent Kawasaki video. I'm not an expert on Brembo brakes, okay? I don't care what model it is, just because I say I'm not sure if they're the cheap versions, because you do get cheaper versions of Brembo, sorry. I did actually say I don't think it is on the video, but people seem to think I was saying they were. I'm not really up to date. I don't care what the newest version is. You know, if the brakes feel good, they feel good. Simple as. Right, back to the bike. Yeah, I don't know if I like the look of it. I like certain parts, like the wheels, they're cool. Engine looks alright, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure on the looks on it. I'm really not sure on the looks. I don't know. I don't know. It's a very nice bike to ride. Cracking engine. The engine pulls like a train, as you'd expect from a big old V-twin. I'm going to put it on sport mode when I get back on. Touring mode still seem to have a lot of power anyway, but I'm just going to try the sports mode. It's nice to see that you get a centre stand, a standard, which is good. While I'm here and I've got the seat off, I will show you what's under the seat. You know, not much. Get a few little things. Get your Ducati toolkit. Don't know how good the Ducati stuff is. Oh, that was lucky. It kind of looks similar to normal stuff. The stuff that you get under the seats is never actually that good anyway, but the KTM ones that I've got on mine didn't seem too bad. They looked okay. So you've got a reasonable little pouch there, but you ain't going to get much in there, to be honest with you. And under the front is a lot of the electrics. Cool, so we'll put that back on. As I'm sure you know, this is a keyless entry bike. One thing I do need to go and try and do before I go is sort the mirrors out. They weren't in a very good position. Yeah, so keyless entry, keyless ignition. So starting it up, I've got the keyless ignition in my pocket. So you just wake it up with the bottom button on the right hand side. It goes for all its stuff. Then you just press the button to start it. Riding modes are here on the left. You press up and down and it will go through all the stuff on the menu there, or like range and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't know if you could just go into them. Yeah, so when you go into options, then you can go to pin code, lap time, backlight, dates, units, service times, tyre calibration, loading your mode. You've got Bluetooth. I'm sure that will be the same sort of thing as the new Kawasaki thing, where you can attach to your bike in some way, shape or form. Turn indicators, don't know why that's on there for. Info and exit. So that's the menu. Right, so if I wanted to go into riding mode, see, and then you can then go, say, Yeah, so at the moment I'm in touring, but then you can then go into all the different settings. So when you go into touring, from that menu it goes to engine, then traction control, then ABS, and I think that's wheelie control, that's quick shifter, you've got the suspension, load mode and back. And then, so say you wanted to go, say, engine, and then you could do high, medium, low, which turns, so a low has reduced power and a smooth throttle, medium has full power, smooth throttle, high has full power and dynamic throttle. You know, and then you could do those to every single one. So then you can then go, say, that was touring, you could go into sport and do engine again, and then that comes, and you can adjust every single one of them to suit your needs. So if you went into sport, you could do traction control, and then you can turn it off completely. You know, you can have it off-road, you can have road or wet, you can turn it up and down, which is good. Then you could do ABS, wheelie control, all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of different little things you could do on this bike. I'm just going to put my visor down, let's get a bit of light. Cruise control on the left hand side, it's very easy, just, you know, that's very easy to get to with your thumb. Horn's pretty good. Indicator is one of those micro switches. One thing I am kind of finding myself, as I'm sitting here putting the indicator on, I kind of have a tendency to let go of with my thumb and kind of hit it, and I'm kind of catching the high beam thing with the corner of my glove, which is a bit crap. And also heated grips over here at the right hand side, press them and it will go through different stages of the heat. Oh, let's have a little walk round. So yeah, I'm not sure on the looks, but I think in my getting older years, I'm not really too bothered about looks. I appreciate a bike that's nice to ride too. And from what I've just experienced, it is a very nice bike to ride. Do I prefer this to my KTM though? That's the question. Because they are, when the Super Adventure is full price, I think that was, I can't remember what it is, it's around say 15,000 I believe. The S version, I'm not sure about this year, but the 2019 version I believe this is over 17. I think it's 17,195, I think, around that area. That's a lot of money, there's a big difference. And I got my KTM for a real good price on the Black Friday deals, so at the moment it's kind of awkward to actually compare the two. That's what it looks like at the front end with the lights on. You can see all the other lights going down the inside. Yeah, it's very awkward to compare the two because price differences. I'm just going to turn this off. Yeah, price differences. There's a big difference in price. That's a keyed one there. So, recovery unlock system. Don't know what that's all about. Oh, obviously there's no key to lock it, so it'll be like probably like my KTM, you have to press and hold the button to lock the steering. But yeah, so far it's already good. I'm liking it. Not sure if I like it as much as my KTM though. I don't know if it would be enough to make me get rid of my KTM. So I'm going to put the throttle mode in sport, and I'm probably going to change the suspension and make it so it believes there's panniers on the back, just so I can stiffen up the rear end a bit. Okay, right, I believe that's enough of a walk round. I'm going to make sure it's all changed and the mirrors are sorted, and then I'll be back on the road in a minute. Alright, bye. Alright, I'm back on the road. I've managed to, well, it's in sports mode now, mirrors are better now. Thoughts about the bike? Riding position's very nice. Bars are in a nice position. Switch gear's nice. That sort of area is a nice place to be. It does look a bit weird, it feels a bit weird, like in this frontal area, where there's just, like, the bike feels very thin, especially like on the seat back, feels very thin. This bit here seems quite bulbous, and it's not really, you know, it's not really much wind protection, because this screen is just, it's not really doing anything really. I know that I'm wearing an adventure helmet, so you know the peak is going to get caught by the wind, but yeah, it's not great. Could get annoying if you're on a very long ride. Things about the engine is very smooth, it's nice, seems fueling very nicely. Up and down shifter sorry, the up and down shifter work very nice. Right, let's have a look at this sort of. Fast bike. I hope you can hear me because it's pretty fucking blustery today. Handles nicely too. It's got a very nice, feels very neutral. Feels very, you know, it's got a nice flow to the bike. I like that. Certain things I've realised, which I actually realised within 3 miles of riding the bike, which goes back to what I said in the other video, that you kind of get a little gist about things that you like and don't like very quickly. And one thing I got a gist of this that I didn't like was the vibration that comes through the dash. Certain RPMs, like you can see it on this mount, but that's not really the issue, but certain RPMs you can see the dash vibrating, and that's really annoying to someone like myself who has an eye condition. I can see like the dash actually vibrating and it blurs out the numbers. The numbers are very easy to read still, but you know, my KTM is a real big V-twin and its dash doesn't vibrate, so that to me is a bit of a down point to me. That's a bit of a down, not a downer, but that's a -1 in my opinion. Is there any other bad ones? I'm not quite sure. I think looks, as always, depend on what you like. You know, you can't judge a bike on its looks anyway. Feels like it's very nice to ride. Dash is quite nice and readable. It's very clear. Engine's very smooth. Feels like a nice bike to ride. You know, you can get some good mileage on it, but I think the one thing you definitely have to do is change this front screen. It's just nothing there. And I had people on other videos complaining about like the stock screen on the KTM. Believe me, the stock screen on the KTM is much better than this. There's nothing. No, there's not really much protection at all. Not for me anyway. It's an interesting review, this will be, because I'm not a fan of Ducatis really. There's a couple of their models that I like, and a lot of them I'm not really a fan of, especially the super bikes. They don't really float my boat. So but this one's pretty nice. I like this one. I could live with this one. It is a definitely vibey machine. I can feel vibrations coming through the foot pegs. Not massive amount, but I could see after a few 100 mile an hour, that might, 100 mile an hour, a few 100 miles, that'll probably get quite annoying. I can feel it in the bar. There's a lot of it in the dash, as I say. Like, see, I don't even know if it's even the dash or if it's just my eyes. Well, I think it's the dash. Hang on. Yeah. And when you go up to a little bit more, I'm not going massively fast, but you can feel the vibrations in the dash. That doesn't float my boat. I really don't. And I'm not I'm not judging it. And you can't say that's just because it's a big V-twin, because the KTM V-twin is even bigger, and the dash does not vibrate like that. So. It's a very nice bike to ride though. It feels nice. I like it. It feels very neutral. And the quick shifter really is very smooth. does build speed very quickly. It's a fast bike. Very fast. Jesus, bird! Fucking hell. That would have been interesting. Going back to the shop with a pheasant stuck in the front of the bike. See, I don't know how well you're hearing me, because at the moment I am getting absolutely blasted by wind. Absolutely blasted. And there doesn't seem to be any wind protection on this bike for me. That would annoy me. The wind noise that it creates would annoy me. Really, really would. It's a very nice bike though. I can tell you now though, this bike will not do 30 mile an hour in fifth. Let's just try it. Oh no. It does do it, but it certainly don't like it. Don't like it at all. So it won't do that. Not even worth the effort. Kind of like my KTM, you could hear it kind of saying no, no, no. But yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I'm not trying to like put the bike down. It does feel very nice to ride. Engine is very fast. Up and down shifter is silky smooth. It's just certain bits like that vibraty dash, that would annoy me. That would annoy me. That almost annoyed me too much just down the road from the shop. It was very annoying. Apart from that though, there's not overly too much I think is wrong with it. I'm really not sure on this tank and like this frontal area. I don't like the look of that. I don't like it. There's a lot of this black plastic and I don't know, I just don't like the look of the front end, like the dash area. The dash is nice, but all the stuff surrounding it I'm not a fan of. And as I said, that screen, I'm sure it's adjustable, but I'm not sure. But it's not doing anything really. But then there's that power. It's definitely got a quick engine. The suspension feels very nice, soaks up the bumps well. Yeah, it's nice. Also, one thing I did notice, which I haven't mentioned yet, is when I was sitting on the bike at a standstill, I'm pretty much almost flat foot in both feet. So it's not a very high seat at all really. I'm 6 foot tall and I easily touch it. I'm not sure what my inseam is though, but I easily touch the floor. So I guess the real question is, do I like this? Well, how do I compare this, I should say? How do I compare this to my KTM? And I'm comparing this to the Super Adventure more than the GT. I still think my Super Adventure is more comfortable. Definitely more wind protection. It's a bigger bike though, so wind protection comes with that. Both got very fast engines. Both, obviously the up and down shifter on a KTM is an optional extra, but it does work very well. And obviously you could buy the KTM and buy that extra for probably still less than this bike. That bloke on the wrong side of the road. trying to get the racing line on his Jag. What a dickhead. It's definitely got a really good engine. The engine is very, very nice. Fueling is spot on. Really is spot on. It definitely builds speed quicker than you actually realise that it's building it. It's almost like witchcraft. Very fast. It's very vast, very comfortable. I think this will be a very easy bike to ride. Seems very easy. I feel very comfortable on it already, and I've only done a tiny amount of miles, so anyway, for now I'm going to sign off, and I will be back in a min. Toodle pippa doodle. Right, I'm back again. I've turned around and come back because there was a lot of traffic up there, so before stopping I don't want to head back and stop the review, so I've turned around and come back the same way I was just coming. I've noticed a couple of issues that I don't like about the bike, which, as you know, is vibrating dash, and one other. It's actually a very annoying thing. The rear brake. I can't seem to apply the rear brake very easily. It's like my foot is almost, well, I have to pretty much put my foot against the engine casing to get to it. It needs a bigger pad for you to put your foot on. It's not very big at all. Bit shit. Apart from them though, they're very minor points, but they are kind of annoying. And the vibrating dash is, see, and I don't know if that's just the dash vibrating or if it's vibrating so much that it's vibrating through me, but no, that's the dash. The dash is definitely vibrating. I just saw it then, it's the dash, 100%. And that, I don't know, that is a real turn off. That, for me, is a lose. If this was in a comparison, which is why I'm doing this video, as a comparison between this and my Super Adventure S, I'd choose the Super Adventure without any doubt. You know, there's not really much between them, seating position wise or engine wise. I feel like the Super Adventure is a little bit more pokey. Suspension wise, they're both semi-active, both very good. Brakes on both, very good. I think this has got higher spec brakes, but you know, ones on the KTM work very well too. But for me, it's the KTM for the win, I'm afraid. Still a very nice bike, but for me, I'm just not sure that it could persuade me away from my Super Adventure. I'm not sure what differences the new multistrada has on it, but I still don't know if it would be enough. Like, the engine and everything feels like a very quality product, but, and also like this front area and the screen, it just looks, I don't know, it just doesn't look like a £17,000 bike. I don't know if this one is because it's a year old, but you know, it's still going to be 15 or 16 even then. I don't know. Bit of a shame. Let's take him out. But as you can see, plenty of power. Plenty of power. Right, so now I'm back after a little blast. Gonna do some final thoughts now. As I mentioned, there's certain things that I don't like about this bike, and I noticed them as soon as I went on the bike and started to use stuff. Main issue, vibrating dash, annoying, annoys the hell out of me now. The rear brake peg, like the actual pedal bit that you touch, you either have to angle your foot at such an angle inwards, it feels really unnatural, so your knees are against the tank, it feels really weird, or you have to have your ankle against the engine casing, which to me is also a little bit weird. The actual peg of the actual, the brake bit that you touch needs to be bigger. It needs to stick out more. So they're the two sort of standout issues that I have. The bike's very fast, it's very powerful, it's actually very smooth, it's comfortable, dash is nice, mirrors work. There's not really much to dislike about it. It's just the little things that don't really work for me. And as I said, I'm comparing this to my Super Adventure, so I'm trying to, I'll just basically see in which I would prefer. And to be honest, I prefer my Super Adventure. There's no issues with touching the back brake on that. The dash doesn't vibrate. The dash is bigger. Engines are very similar. They've all got the same sort of suspension, stuff like that. So it's really just like a brand thing, really, whether you like them. And as I said, I got a very good deal with my KTM, so I'm quite happy that I actually went for that. But for me, this is it's still a very good bike. If you like Ducatis, then this is the sort of bike. And you wanted to go adventures, then obviously this would be the sort of bike you'd get, and you'd probably end up getting this over the KTM. But of course, don't forget you get the Enduro one, which has the spoked wheels and stuff. This is just the normal one, and it is nice. It is a nice place to be. It's very comfortable. Yeah. The engine seems to be, engines on both of them actually, on the KTM and this, they seem to be the standout character. They're the things that stand out more than anything else. And they've both got very quick engines, both very fast. And they both build power very low in the rev range, all the way through the rev range. And they both build speed very quickly. There you are, thank you. Yeah, they both build speed very, very quickly. But out of them both, seeing as that is what this is, I'm doing this as a comparison, I would still have my KTM. I'm still not sold on Ducatis, to be honest. The vibrations on them are quite a lot. And even though it's a big V-twin and they say that you should expect it to be vibey, I know that, but my KTM ain't like this. So for me, bad points, as I've said, vibration screen, issues with the rear peg, this front dash area, I just don't like that at all. It looks horrible to me. The surroundings, the screen is not even worth having on. Yeah, I don't know, this frontal area reminds me of another bike. Can't really put my finger on it, but I think I know what it is, and it's going to sound stupid. The bike that I'm thinking of doesn't actually have a TFT dash, but the screen looks the same sort of shape, and this area looks the same sort of bit, and that is the Yamaha Tracer 700. That has the same sort of area around the screen and the same sort of screen there, and that's one thing. You could buy 2 of them for the price of this. I think that should look a little bit better up here. I don't know. It just doesn't float my boat, that area. And as I said before, it's completely my opinion. It's not to take the piss out of people that have this bike or like the look of it. It's just a matter of opinion, and that's what I'm doing on my reviews. You know, it's an opinion. If you're watching videos to figure out what your next bike is going to be, and you're using whoever it is, not necessarily me, whoever, if you're using them to decide what your next bike's going to be, just forget that. You know, they might give you like an impression of certain bikes compared to other bikes like I'm doing, but when it comes down to it, you can't make any judgments until you ride all the bikes that you're interested in. There's no point listening to people's opinions and then actually taking those opinions and buying a bike based on someone else. There's just no point. There is no point. It's a bit annoying. I was going to stop there. Oh well. Get past this car. What the fuck are they doing? How slow do you want to go? Ah, that's a cyclist. You can go past, you know. Fuck me. Certainly makes overtaking very, very easily. There's another one, just going as slow as possible. Yes, alright. Fucking hell. 30 mile an hour. Jesus. But yeah, so for me, in a comparison, nah. I think both of them actually do a very similar job, the KTM and this. You know, both of them are very comfortable, both of them are very fast, both of them have probably got European I'm trying to think of the word now, reliability, that's the one. But I know that a lot of things have come up in the years, they've got a lot better, and as I'm sure like KTM and Ducati have both got a lot better. But you know, you got your warranty. Ducati actually do an extended up to 4 year on your bike, so you know, if you had to, I'm just going to pull in here and do my last walk around. If you had to, you got 4 years warranty. You know, and you could rely and trust the bike quite a bit. I don't know what's going on here. What the hell? Well, I think I'll go in here and spin around, I think. Cool is this place? Very pretty. God, I can hear the front brake rubbing. That's annoying. Ugh. And another thing here, as I was saying, very easy to reach both feet. I'm pretty much flat foot in both, very easy. The gearbox, that's another issue. This is the other issue. I know it's got 340 miles on it. The gearbox is really fussy to get into neutral. It does not like getting into neutral. Ugh. Yeah. So, final thoughts then. I like it. I do like it. It is a nice bike. But for me, I don't know. I don't like it as much as my KTM. Those little things like the dash vibrating, the screen, like it looks like a big area. When you look at it there, you know, that looks like it's a lot of frontal area, but when you're actually on it, it doesn't really cut out much. I don't know. and the rear brake lever. Like, see what I mean? It's very small, and I don't know if you could see it, but when you look down, like when your foot's on it, you man, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it's the angle of the engine sticking out. Doesn't feel right. The ergonomics of the bike are just not for me. So anyway, I'm going to head back to On Your Bike. As I said on the other video, thanks very much to the lads and lasses over at On Your Bike for letting me borrow this bike. So, you know, if you ever want to ride any of those, they've got a load of Ducatis over there to test ride, and Kawasaki's and Aprilias and everything, and Motor Guzzies. So if you want to test ride any of these bikes, this one even, then feel free to give them a call. Got a clean license, you can get yourself a ride on one. Yeah, so thanks again to them over there for letting me borrow this multistrada 1260S with a Testastrata DVT engine. And while I'm on the subject, thanks very much for all my recent subscribers. I've had a few more, and thank you very much for all of my ongoing subscribers. I much appreciate it. Thank you very much. Deadbug Davey in this beautiful area here where the public footpath goes. I'm out. Laters.